Today I took 4 trades, 3 losers and 1 break even. And eventually it worked out, just not when I wanted it to, or not when I was in the trade. Although this trade would have worked out if I just kept my original stop loss, but I didn't, so there's that. Today again, it's kind of mixed signals here. We're in some big consolidation range, but this demand level I had was supporting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and it was bouncing off overnight. So I was keeping that demand zone in mind. And then this was an outside relationship, so I thought maybe it could stay within the H3, L3 range. This overlapping higher, so pivots are all over the place, but the open, I thought it was going to open above value area high. So I was planning to long value area high here, but right before market open, it started rejecting off this low volume node zone here, which I liked. So now my plan was that if it comes back up and tests value area high or somewhere inside this low volume node or this pre-market high here, then I could short this area. If not, I wanted to long this value area low area, which is inside this demand zone that we've supported multiple times already. And then if not, I wanted to come down all the way to L3, which also aligns with this demand zone and then yesterday's low. So I want to see if I can long somewhere in here or short somewhere in there. And the long plan worked out. It just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Honestly, I thought I was pretty patient this whole morning. It starts selling off as market opens, and I'm trying to get some sort of continuation of the rejection from here, which I don't mind taking, but it just sells off a little bit too much for me to take a little pullback short here. So it was going up. Nice CVD or 1 minute delta divergence there. I like that, but not much in terms of short confirmations here. I was thinking 74.40 I could long, but it was not at my level. So yes, it kind of formed a V-shape here. Yes, it was supporting again. Big delta here at 74.40, but eventually it went through. So then once that happened, I wanted to see if I could short this. So it was a pullback. Now I can short that pullback. It's a delta divergence on the 2 minute, but that was pretty much all the confirmation I had. So I didn't really take it. Also, my entry would have been at what, 38s, 39s, maybe 40s, and my target would have been this value area low zone or level at 26. So that's about what, 12 points maybe, on about 4 points, which would have been 3R, I guess. But I thought because it could bounce at demand zone, I thought my entry was a little bit too close to my target here, so I decided not to go for the shorts, especially because I only had 1 confirmation there. And so I was looking more for longs rather than trying to short this pullback, because it was approaching my long level here. So that short would have worked out nicely, honestly. Would have hit value area low, would have hit L3, would have worked out super nicely, but I don't know, I think I made logically the right choice, but yeah, that would have worked out. But now I'm watching for longs here. I see this kind of a high volume hammer, not really a hammer, but either way, I see this delta divergence on the 20 range, and at 35, so we're kind of at demand, but not really. So I decided to not take it. So then it sells off further, comes into 25, 24, which is right at that value area low, and it starts bouncing a little bit. I don't see any confirmations here, so I forego this also. And so I was pretty patient all morning, I feel like. L3 comes in at 74.18 here. So that's my L3 level. comes into L3, and then just very quickly bounces. Forms a 20 range delta divergence. POC at the lows, selling bounce at the lows. Volume bounces come in, B shape, 2-minute delta divergence, bullish. I honestly think about just taking it here, but I wanted more of a retest, especially because every single pop has been sold into so far this morning. There was a nice CVD hidden divergence going on here until it didn't. But I really wanted some sort of retest back inside, but that did not happen. Just straight up rallied. Rallied for 5, 10, 15 points or so. Yeah. And then started pulling back. So now I'm looking to take a pullback here. But remember, there's 7 a.m. news. 9 minutes until news there. And so I'm trying to take some sort of pullback. But you see there's a big 1 minute shooting star candle here. Right as it bounces, high volume shooting star. There's a big giant wick. There's also 2 minute delta divergence bearish. So I'm not too sure about it. Now it's forming a CVD hidden divergence bearish. But I'm trying to look for good solid confirmations for longs, and I'm just not seeing them. And it's rallying, and now I'm FOMOing. I'm getting frustrated because it's not giving me anything. Although I want to short it, or I want to long it. But now this delta divergence bearish comes in. 2 minute delta divergence bearish also. But I see this little dip here. Then a bunch of sellers get absorbed here and then bounces. So I'm kind of liking that. And as long as I get some other additional confirmations like this 20 range delta divergence, then I wouldn't mind longing it. It was kind of a delta divergence for a sec there, but didn't quite finish as it, but it was positive 16. So I was like, okay, I mean, I could live with that. And also buying imbalances came in, POC at the lows. I liked that. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, that's good enough of a pullback, especially because I have all the confirmations I need here and it rallied. So I decided that I could take it even though it is forming a CVD hidden divergence. Just decided to take it. Maybe I should have just taken it with 1 contract, honestly, but I took it with 2. Even though it wasn't the best of confirmations. Yeah, so it comes back in and then bounces. So I take it long 2 contracts. It's not the worst, I think, but didn't work out at all. Just came straight back down. Yeah, that CVD hidden divergence still did not recover. And then it just comes straight down, stops me out. So now I'm looking for another pullback entry. I see this delta divergence here, delta divergence here, and then delta divergence on the 1 minute. So I like that. I'm going to try it again, this time with 1 contract, especially because it's 3 minutes before news. I guess I was kind of hoping that news would carry me, would rally and carry me into my target maybe. But yeah, honestly, maybe I should have avoided this and entered here, or even just avoided this also, because 3 minutes before news, but I don't know. There's significant FOMO, I guess. I don't want to miss out on this move because I'm just waiting for news. But the 2 minute doesn't actually end up as a delta divergence, and it stops me out right before news. So, yeah, both of those. Is it on FOMO? I don't know. I mean, the second trade I had better confirmations. I think I would have taken it. First one I didn't have the best confirmations at all, but I thought it was good enough to take a pullback at least. Because I have good solid confirmations here, would prove that there were buyers there, so I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have taken it just because it was so close to news, but I don't know. It's not the worst, I guess. But yeah, so then 6:59, the 20 seconds until news, there is a nice B shape that forms with buying imbalances that come in, POC at the lows. I guess not really a B shape. But there is a hidden CVD divergence forming with 1 minute delta divergence bullish. I like those confirmations, but there is news, so I want to wait until after news came out and then go in if price holds. And yeah, so does a little pullback and then starts rallying back up. So I enter with 2 contracts, but because it's so volatile here, by the time I entered, it was about 26. So I entered with 2 contracts trying to get in here at 24, but I got 2 points of a later entry, and now my stop is about 8 points instead of 6 points. Because my stop is under these lows. This 20 range delta divergence formed afterwards. Yeah, so now I'm in with way too much size, right? Because usually if it's about 8 points, I only enter with 1 contract, but I'm in 8 points with 2 contracts. Now I'm very, very nervous. My target is at POC, which is right around 3R, 74.50. Yeah, and it rallies pretty well onto 1.7R, about 13 points. And I decided to just put my stop at break even. Because there were many reasons for this, but one, we rallied 13 points on 2 contracts. And if it was my usual about 5-point risk, then I would have already hit 2R anyways. So that was kind of my justification for moving to break even, or one of my justifications. The other thing was that we supported this area twice here now, 74.28. And if you look on the 1 minute chart also, 74.28, we test this multiple times and then rally up. So I thought that was a higher low that was formed and thought it was good enough to put my stop under the 28s, at least at break even. So I put it at 27. But yeah, and then after it started forming a delta divergence bearish and then started coming back down, decided to put my stop at break even because again, it formed a higher low. I thought it did at least. And then I was up 13 points. And yeah, and also I think a lot of it had to do with my stop. That was a bit oversized. So 8-point stop, 2 contracts, big. It was pretty big size for me. So I was too nervous holding this. So technically, yes, it should be that I hit 2R and then move to break even, but I really haven't been following that these days, really. And maybe I should go back to strictly following that, but it never hit 2R, never hit my original stop loss though, and then rallied up to hit my target here at 3R. So, did it make sense to move my stop to break even? I think so, except for the fact that never hit 2R. If I did enter earlier though, I would have hit 2R and then I would have hit stopped out at break even. Although I would have avoided this long. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my thesis is clearly it worked out. Bounced off of L3, demand zone, rallied up initially to POC, pulled back to VWAP, and then rallied up again. But yeah, honestly, I don't fault myself for this one, but it's just unfortunate. Then I stopped out at break even, and then I started rallying back up, formed a nice hammer candle with POC at the lows, and then I was just, I don't know, I wasn't thinking straight, I guess. I didn't really see any confirmations. If anything, it was bearish confirmations here, but saw that B shape, retested the B shape, and then I took it long again with 1 contract, but I mean, there's really not that much of confirmations here. Nothing on the 20 range, maybe just the B shape. That's about it, really. If anything, there were bearish confirmations. But yeah. So I took that one contract, stopped out pretty much immediately. Seemed like there was a chance over here, but got really quickly rejected here and stopped me out, and then I was down for the day because I took 3 losses. But I shouldn't have taken that one, and I should have taken actually this one because this is the actual pullback imbalance. Formed a delta divergence on 20 range, delta divergence on the 2-minute, and big CVD hidden divergence here. And that would have been my last try, and it would have actually worked out very well. Although it would have given me some scares in the middle here. Bearish delta divergence, but that B shape holds eventually and rallies up to my target. Eventually. Yeah. So that would have been right here. That 1-minute high volume hammer also would have held at least, and then rallied up to my target at POC or 3R or whatever comes first. Yeah, it just sucks that my plans are working out. Just I'm not executing well on them at all. It's been the theme of the whole month, really. I'm not sure how to fix this.